So the last thing I want to talk about in this war, humans versus pathogens, is some of the diseases associated with the immune system. And largely this is when something is happening in the immune system and it's not able to fight the way we would like it to. So there's three sort of main groups of immune system diseases: allergies, autoimmune diseases, and immune deficiency diseases. So an allergy is simply when your immune system overreacts. So it's going to take pollen or dog hair or dust mites and act like you have a virus or a bacteria inside of you. And so all of the things that we've talked about, these generalized responses, inflammation, mucus, all of those things are happening, but they're happening inappropriately. And there's some genetic component to this. People will have more allergies, and there's some ideas out there that maybe our environment is too clean and that our immune system is used to fighting off a lot more pathogens, and because we aren't exposed to as many pathogens, our immune system is now reacting to pollen and pet dander. So imagine you have this fantastic SWAT team and it's been sitting in a room not allowed to go anywhere for 10 years. It hasn't been exposed to worms, it hasn't been exposed to protozoans, and so finally it decides, well, pollen, I'm just going to go and overreact. And that's what an allergy is. And what we take for allergies are antihistamines, things that are trying to depress that immune response so that it doesn't overreact. Autoimmune diseases, auto means self. This is when our immune system starts attacking our own cells. So remember, it's normal for our immune system to attack non-self cells, but something's gone wrong here, and our immune system is identifying our own cells as non-self cells. Multiple sclerosis, MS, is a disease that's an autoimmune disease. Your nerve cells have these additional cells that wrap around. They're called the myelin sheath, and in MS, your immune system actually attacks and starts to break down these cells. And it's a little bit like the plastic around electric wiring. Your nervous system starts to short circuit if it doesn't have these protective cells. And so you start to lose the ability to walk and move in specific ways because your nerves just aren't firing properly. What's interesting about this is that we don't understand what is causing this at all. We understand the mechanisms, but what triggers autoimmune diseases is still relatively unknown. One of the hypotheses about type 1 diabetes is that it is an autoimmune disease, that your immune system is attacking parts of the pancreas that make insulin. So again, we're starting to understand how this happens, but figuring out how we can prevent this is something we're not close to at this point. Finally, there's immune deficiency diseases, and this is when your immune system just isn't working properly. So we don't have enough beat cops out there doing their job. So examples would be AIDS. This is caused by the HIV virus. So viruses are very specific and they attack very specific kinds of cells, and the HIV virus attacks and kills helper T cells. And remember, helper T cells are the generals of the immune system. They are going to cripple your specific immune response. When someone has full-blown AIDS, what that means is they've gone from just having HIV virus infection to a reduced number of helper T cells. A normal individual has maybe 800 to 1,000 helper T cells per milliliter. Someone with full-blown AIDS has less than 200 helper T cells, and when they're really at risk, when the T cell count is down below 20, at that point you're susceptible to die from a simple fungal infection or something like bronchitis, something that any of us could easily fight off, but our immune system is just simply not responding because there's no T cells telling it to respond. So acquired immune deficiency syndrome, this just means that your immune system stops working. People who have HIV, if they don't survive, it's because they die from some other kind of fungal infection or respiratory infection. There are a number of medications that you can take that will help reduce your HIV load and thus keep your helper T cells up. But it is a rigorous regime. There are side effects to these medications, and you have to take them for the rest of your life. So if you get bone marrow cancer, you're going to stop making all of these different kinds of immune system cells, and that's going to result in immune deficiency as well. Your cells are just reproducing, they're not making white blood cells that you need, and your immune system is not going to function anymore. So people with different kinds of lymphomas or bone cancers often, again, are very susceptible to simple infections, especially bronchitis or other kinds of lung infections, and they can be fatal because their immune system just isn't functioning properly.